Moving to a new city, especially one like Nashville, was a big shift. Everything changed when I left Kansas City. In this video, I want to walk you through my experience living in Nashville, Tennessee so far, and if you are thinking about moving here, there is a lot I wish I would have known. If you've ever moved across state lines, what was the hardest part? Was it leaving your community, starting from scratch, or adjusting to culture? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear what your move was like. Growing up, I always knew I wanted to create a different life outside of Kansas City and start a new journey in a new city. So in high school, I played baseball and I was committed to play baseball at the University of Maine. During COVID, that opportunity was no longer there and lost a roster spot since I was recruited last and was lower on their depth chart. And at the very last minute, I had the opportunity to earn a walk-on position at Belmont University. And that's what initially got me to Nashville and what attracted me to Nashville. Fast forward a little bit, I came to Belmont as a student and no longer that opportunity was there. So I always knew in the back of my mind that if baseball wasn't part of God's plan for me anymore, that I wanted to start real estate. So that first year I was a student, was trying to figure out what Nashville was like and what the university was like. I just had a strong calling on my heart from the Lord to pursue a real estate license. And I didn't really understand it at that time since I was super focused on being a student at Belmont. But anyway, I decided to get my real estate license, started pursuing real estate while I was in school. And about 6 months in, I started to get busy enough where I was met with the decision to continue to be a student at Belmont or go into real estate full-time, and ultimately decided to go into real estate full-time, and that was such a blessing. And now here we are today, living in Nashville and continuing to run and operate my real estate business. What also drew me to Nashville was just the abundance of opportunity. I didn't know specifically what I was going to do when I first came here to Nashville, just with baseball being up in the air and looking at other job opportunities as well. But there's just an overabundance of opportunity here in Nashville. Everyone can really paint their own path and fit in and find a community here. Growing up, I always craved that Southern community, and that's something I was always lacking growing up, and that's why I was so excited to move here, was to experience that. And that was my exact first impression of how giving and open-handed people were here. I feel like so many people have poured into me and have been so loving and welcoming and just felt right at home as soon as I moved here. And have been incredibly blessed to find community, like even at Belmont University. I go to Zeal Church here in Nashville, so finding church small groups and community within the church has been the biggest blessing. And just even being immersed into Nashville's culture, whether I'm in a different neighborhood and meeting new people, I feel like everyone has something so different, unique, and special, but all that ties back to Nashville's roots and the Southern hospitality that it has to offer. Southern hospitality for me has been easy to embrace just because it aligns with my personal values and what I was looking for. It's really taught me to slow down and be super intentional with people and really get to learn people for who they are and how I can best serve them. I love that here in Nashville, there is just an endless amount of things to do. I feel like every week there is something new, there's something fun and creative to do within the city. Between going to Nashville Predators hockey games, going to see the Titans play football, Vanderbilt collegiate athletics, between trying all the new local restaurants and coffee shops scattered throughout Nashville, and also exploring Nashville neighborhoods. Here in Nashville, there's so many micro neighborhoods and pockets that have its own vibe and flavor that people don't really understand before they move here. There's a micro neighborhood called 12 South, and that's one of my favorite neighborhoods. And it's completely different compared to East Nashville, where East Nashville, it's a little more artsy and creative and a vibrant neighborhood that's also growing very rapidly. So there's just an endless amount of things to do within Nashville. Here are my favorite Nashville local spots between coffee shops, restaurants, community events, and live music all across the city. Some of my favorite local coffee shops has to be Frothy Monkey, and I love the 12 South location just because of its outdoor seating area. You're sitting under trees, so it's always shaded. And I also love kind of the vibe and community of people that go to 12 South. I feel like the workers are super friendly. You also meet a lot of locals that live in the 12 South neighborhood, but there's also a lot of people that stay within 12 South that are traveling. So you get to meet some tourists too and see what they think about Nashville. Another favorite coffee shop of mine is The Well. There's one right off Music Row, so it's really vibrant and you're getting a younger crowd of people. And then there's also another location right by Lipscomb University that's also fun to be at and work. One of my favorite pizza shops in Nashville is 5 Points Pizza. There's a location in East Nashville and West Nashville, kind of near Sylvan Park. What I love about 5 Points so much is that you get the classic by the slice pizza, and it is super similar to New York style pizza, so kind of that thinner crust, and that's what I love the most. So I'm gonna have to count 5 Points as one of my favorites. And also Dicey's Pizza, located in Wedgwood, Houston. I feel like it's a completely different pizza shop than I've ever been to, and even across the country. You have so many different pizza options and varieties to choose from. They also have a great outdoor seating area, and it's also in a very fun, young, energetic, and vibrant neighborhood that the culture there is super special as well. Nashville is known for its hot chicken, so I'm gonna have to say my favorite Nashville hot chicken spot is Prince's. A lot of people say Hattie B's, and that's the go-to, and that's where a lot of the tourists go to, but Prince's has been around forever and is a true Nashville staple. So the next time you're in Nashville, you have to try Prince's hot chicken. Last but not least, if you're looking for a higher quality meal, more upscale dining experience, I really recommend you trying Fifth and Taylor in Germantown. I absolutely love the Germantown neighborhood. It is the first Nashville neighborhood to be established, so there's so much history and so much old historic brick in Germantown, but it is a phenomenal dining experience and great food, and you can't go wrong with ordering anything off their menu. Since Nashville is known as a music city, some of my favorite live music venues have to be Bridgestone Arena. That's where the Predators play hockey, and so many big names perform at Bridgestone, and it is in the heart of downtown Nashville. I would also say Ascend Amphitheater is also one of my favorites just because it is a small, intimate, outdoor live entertainment venue, and it's also right on the Cumberland River, also located in the heart of downtown, and that is super fun listening to also other big names performing there. And I would say probably for the third on the list is the Municipal Auditorium. Actually, last weekend I just got done attending the Belonging Co. conference. It is such a special, intimate, indoor music venue as well. And I would probably say those are my top three bigger names, but there are also so many little hole-in-the-wall places where musicians do ride-arounds, and there's so many underground places scattered throughout East Nashville, Midtown, and downtown that's where you hear all the up-and-coming artists perform at. Some of my favorite local community events that happen within Nashville each year have to be the CMA Fest. I feel like so many people travel into Nashville to be a part and attend CMA Fest, and it's a special time in our city when CMA Fest comes rolling around each year. It's also held at Nissan Stadium, so it's fun having that outdoor venue and being able to experience all the different artists that travel in. I would also say other great local community events that happen each year are Oktoberfest, because there is a German culture and heritage that does exist within Nashville. I would also say the Tomato Art Fest that happens once a year, also with the 5K run that is held in East Nashville, is pretty fun. What really surprised me most about Nashville was its strong music culture. That's something I never experienced growing up in Kansas City, and I had nothing like that growing up in Kansas City. So it was completely different moving here, where most of my friends they're within music business or the music industry or an artist of some sort, there is a massive music culture and everyone is immersed in that in some way, shape, or form. I've even learned so much about the music culture just with my friends being in it and being immersed in it 24/7. So going from not knowing anything about music to now knowing quite a bit, that's what Nashville does when you live here. Also, something I did not realize about Nashville until I moved here was that Nashville is a healthcare capital. Over 90% of businesses has to do something within the healthcare industry. Also, it's a huge entrepreneurial city. A lot of people from Silicon Valley and other states have started up their own business here in Nashville, just with Tennessee being such a business-friendly and financially incentivizing state. By the way, if you do not know who I am, my name is Sam Gray. I'm a realtor with Compass based right here in Nashville, Tennessee. And just like many of you, I was looking for a city that just made more sense for my business and the life that I was wanting to build. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and also scan the QR code right here on the screen. Now let's keep going. Real estate felt like a natural fit after relocating because I could relate to people moving to a brand new city and starting their own journey. I know exactly what it feels like because I went through that same exact thing. My purpose in life is to love, to serve, and to impact people, and I feel like real estate was just the best platform to make the biggest impact on people's lives. After stepping away from baseball, I knew the entrepreneurial path was perfect for me. I previously owned and operated an aerial photography and videography business in Kansas City, serving realtors. And I also love the competitive and creative nature of being an entrepreneur. And I feel like real estate aligns perfectly with my core values and who I am as a person. Nashville's rapid growth presented a perfect opportunity for me to hop in the real estate industry because over hundreds of people move to Nashville each day. It's been a blessing starting from scratch in a brand new city like Nashville in all areas of my life. Specifically with business, it's given me the opportunity and launch pad to create something special that I believe that I'm still trying to build and create, and just have been super blessed with the people that I've been able to serve, and also meeting brand new people here in Nashville and the opportunities it's allowed me to have. I've also grown tremendously too in my personal life, just with building really intentional relationships and meeting my best friends here. And I've also grown tremendously in my faith just with having those opportunities being here in Nashville. I began by learning the Nashville market very quickly by actually walking up and down each street of each neighborhood and driving each neighborhood within Nashville. I feel like there's so much you pick up on and you learn about the tendency of each neighborhood by doing that, instead of looking it up on a map and trying to get a visual picture of it. I still do this, but I like to go on nighttime drives and really explore each neighborhood at night as well, trying to get familiar with each micro pocket because every neighborhood in Nashville is so different. Showing so many different homes and properties to clients has gotten me very familiar with each neighborhood as well. You really experience the nuances between going in and out of these homes, and also the different drive times and commutes. And you learn so much about each neighborhood by doing that as well. Daily research has also become a habit of mine, just researching the new developments that constantly arise within Nashville. I also review new inventory, under contract, and closed properties every single day, so I am fresh, I'm updated on what's happening within each neighborhood. I think actually having conversations with Nashville natives and people that have lived here for decades is truly invaluable, because you get to hear their stories about how this city has grown and where it's heading towards, and what their personal opinion has been on the growth of Nashville. Nashville's market continues to outperform most major markets across the United States, just because so many people are still relocating here to Nashville. They're moving their families here. Big businesses like Oracle, they have just moved their whole entire headquarters to here, and they're actively working on that. And more bigger businesses are following that same trend. So Nashville's real estate markets in the city is not going to slow down anytime soon. After hearing all this, can you see why Nashville has become such a big part of my story? If you're considering this move, what questions do you still have on your mind? Let me know in the comments. For more videos about Nashville and what it has to offer, make sure to check out one of these videos around me on the screen. Thanks for watching. I'm Sam Gray, and I'll see you in the next one.